Blessings, everyone. Blessings. Great to see each and every one of you tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you had a blessed Sunday. Uh, y'all just come on in. Come on in. I am just setting up. Um, just setting up. Uh, how y'all doing? And as y'all coming in, just let us know exactly what part of the state you are coming in from. So let me finish setting up. Y'all just come on in. Yeah, you knew it. I couldn't. I gotta get it going. Gotta get it going. So we just thank you guys and let us know um, where you're tuning in from. Uh, I want to say thank you to everyone watching from YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and also Facebook. So let me get this set up on my end over here, and then I will be ready to get this going. And let's see. There we go. All right. So let's go. We already know I can't take a day off. I don't even know what a day off is, but I did rest most of the day. Enjoyed being at home today and with my wife and everything. Uh, so we got Milwaukee County in the house. All right, y'all check in. Let us know where you're from, and begin to share. Begin to share and tag people in that you want to hear me. That you want to. They might even have questions tonight. So y'all just come on in. Let us know where you at. Let us know the state. I mean, the part of the state you are part of tonight. I hope everybody had a beautiful day today. We all know we got to go back working on tomorrow, and we know that um, less than a month is the primary, so we got a lot of work to do. KTown Kenosha, all right. So y'all just come on in. You know, even though I was resting today, I think one of the questions that we have today, Jefferson County is in the house. Uh, so make sure you share it and tag your friends in it. Um, you know, I was while I was resting and I was reading the book of Isaiah today, and I think one of my thing is as as we go into this primary, as we go into this fall election, we have to ask ourselves a serious question, and that question is, what is it really going to take um, to beat Tony Evers and the Democrats in November? You know, what is it going to really take for us to come out victorious um, and begin to work on the things across the state? Uh, really, what is it going to take? And that's something that we all have to. just slow down for a minute and just really talk. And say it's going to take leaders willing to. Okay, you know, when we look at this and so as people are steady coming in, let us know what part of the state you are coming in on. You know, we really love to know. But I mean, that's something that we really have to um, take a look at and ask ourselves for real. What is it going to take? What combination of candidates that it's going to take to remove Evers out of the way? Now, I've been trying to do um, ads on Facebook, but because I've been in Facebook jail so much that every time I try, they reject my ads and they will not allow me to place my ads on Facebook. But it's okay. It's okay. Um, it's just something that we have to figure out, but we getting the word across the state, so I'm okay with that. So, but what do you think it's going to take to defeat him? We can't just say because we're Republicans that we're going to just win, but we have to make sure that we have the best combination uh, to beat them. And when we really look at it, how confident are we on the, how should I say, the candidates that we are supporting? How confident are we that they can get the job done? And those are the things we have to look at, and those are the questions that we really got to take a look at and say, okay, what combination can we put together that is going to defeat uh, Tony Evers um, this November? And so one of the reasons why I'm doing the viral meet and greets and answering questions is because you might have somebody that don't know who they want to vote for yet, and we are asking them to join us and um, come on here and ask questions. Hey, ma'am, how you doing? Tell the people what part of the state you from. Let the people know what part of the state you from, and we welcome that, and we're glad that you are on here. And so doing these verbal meet and greets, we get a chance to reach out to across the state. You guys get an opportunity to ask questions off the fly, where I will answer your questions. Um, and I would never tell you what you want to hear, but I would definitely tell you what we need to hear. And so, as your next lieutenant governor, I got to be ready to stand up and share my vision and the things that I want to see done in Wisconsin, and to answer your questions that you guys will trust me enough to represent you in November, because we have to have strong candidates in November when it comes against Tony Evers. We all know that the Democrat Party is not going to lay down and just let us take it. We got to go in by force, and we have to take it. And we have to put the best candidates, the strongest candidates um, up. And those candidates has to be able to draw the independents, draw those moderate Democrats, draw the Green Party, draw the Libertarians, draw the people, all people together. And so we have to make sure that we got the right people in office that can do that. And as I look at what's going on, and I look at um, everything. I think the biggest problem that we have is that we're too emotional right now, and so we're not really paying attention. Um, we're just going, and so the thing is that we have to look at it, say, is okay, what's the best combination at the top of the ticket that can help um, defeat Tony Evers? And I know we got a lot of um, well, thank you for that. That is something that we have to that we really have to look at, is because of the fact that when we look at um, there's people that are just tired, and they're looking for realness, they're looking for solutions, they're looking for hope. And if we doesn't present that, and we just want Evers out, that's not good enough. Just because we don't want him in there, that's not good enough. And we cannot just say, it doesn't matter who it is, they're better than Evers. You that is not going to get us across the finish line. We have to have strong candidates that people can see the vision, understand the vision, and want to run with the vision. We got to have strong candidates that can relate, their message relate. Not that you have to shift messages when you go into a different territory. Your message should be able to be the same, and that you would be able to resonate with everybody. And that's what we need right now. And so when you look at it, it's not even about a color. It's not about color. It's not about gender, a woman or a male, black or white or Latino. It's about who can resonate with the people the most, who is the most realist person, because people are sick and tired of just politicians saying things and don't do what they have been saying for a long time. So we have to get together, and we have to make sure that we have the right people in place, that we can not only win, because it's more to it than just winning, because we won before, but we didn't get our rights back. We won before parents' rights was not restored. We won before Common Core was not dealt with. So it's not about just winning, but it's about winning and getting stuff done. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to open up the floor, and you guys can start hitting with questions. If you have questions and you have concerns, and you want to uh, get that addressed, then we ask you to you can begin to type in your questions and everything, or comments. Well, as, as a person who believes in what they're doing, you're gonna never you're never sway or shy away from your message. If you really believe in that message, if you really believe in the vision that you're trying to share with the people, no matter where you at, you would never leave your message. You would not change your message because you're talking to a different group of people. Your message will stay the same, and it will resonate with everybody. So in that process, we have to make sure that whoever it is consistent in what they're saying, and they're not just changing just to try to win a vote. And I think that comes with character, um, that comes with honesty, that comes with integrity. So we have to make sure, whoever it is, we have to make sure, and I speak for myself, I have to make sure that I stay David and I don't change for anybody. That whatever I tell you I believe in, I stand on it, and I stand uh, wholeheartedly on it. And some people might not like the vision. Some people might not like might not want to resonate with that message because that's not what they're on, and that's okay. But long as you stay on the message, then that way people will be able to see that you are genuine and that you are real. So as we go forward, you guys, we are it's open now. You can ask your questions. You can make your comments. I will comment on whatever you put up here, and we will go from there because this is a meet and greet. This is where we have to have dialogue and we have to build relationships and we have to make sure that we pick the right people to go up against Evers and whoever comes out of the primary. If you never change what you want, your team will kick you. Well, Kelly, I already know people would jump on me if I change, if I did anything. So you ain't got to worry about that. I am never going to change. And I know most of the team, if not all the team, packing. So you ain't got to worry about that. Well, when it comes to that, I think what we have to do is we get the information. All right. We don't go along with a non-elected um, person to dictate to us and tell us what we need to do. We get the information. And when you get the information from both sides. You don't get it from one side. Because let's go back. We had doctors that told you to wear the mask, and the majority of people who wore the mask caught corona. Then you had doctors say, don't wear the mask because the mask is more harmful to you. And a lot of people didn't catch corona that did not wear the mask. I think we need to put everything on the table, the pros and cons of wearing a mask and not wearing a mask. And again, and let every family make that decision, not the Department of Health, but we need to put everything. And you got people say, "Well, I trust the science." Well, there's two sides of science. There's two sides of everything. My mom used to say it this way: there's two sides to every story, but then there's the truth. So what we need to do is we need to look at everything, put everything on the table, so that we can allow families to make the decision, not the government making the decision, not the schools making the decisions, but the parents making the decision on what is good for their family. I hear many other candidates talking issues that are not remotely related to the lieutenant governor office. What do you see as the biggest issue that you can impact as lieutenant governor? Well, the biggest issue is we have to understand that the lieutenant governor office, I call it the office of influence. So you'll be able to do some influencing the legislators and the governor to make sure that the people are taken care of. A lot of times people hear what the people are saying and then they ride on those issues because that's what's close to the people. For example, a lot of people is concerned about the election of 2020 election, voter integrity, the drop boxes, ballot harvesting. We all know it's crooked. We all know that it's been done. We all know that there's been cheating in our election even before 2020. But the question is, once that's fixed, then what's next? Because a lot of people still is not focusing on day-to-day issues. They're not focused on there might be coming soon a shortage on food. Are everybody willing to work with farmers to make sure that as they grow it, you buying it, or are you growing your own food? We already see the gas prices. We already see the children are in most places in most cities. The children are the African American, low poor whites, Latinos children have already got pushed back a year behind in education if not 2 years behind in education. That's an issue as well. So, as the lieutenant governor, what we supposed to do is influence those things, and making sure that we also push the vision of the governor. And if the governor vision is to bring businesses back into Wisconsin, the lieutenant governor got to know business, got to understand profit and loss, got to understand what's going on. How do we bring people into Wisconsin, and then and what area would be the best for them when it comes to tax brackets? Well, if you go into any major city, anybody under the poverty level, that's a tax break. Anybody getting food stamps, child care, that's a tax break. Anybody a felon, that's a tax break. So you got all these tax breaks in the community in these areas. So, I mean, we can be able to flirt and bring companies in, and we don't have to have the companies go outside of the cities, because once you start putting people back to work, crime drops. I have seen it already by my organization and us giving people jobs. So as the lieutenant governor, we got to be able to help the governor look good, help to make sure the governor stay connected to business owners and the community, help to make sure that the community is not being overlooked, and they're not making laws against the people of Wisconsin. So that office of influence is very good when you understand your role, because your role as a servant, you have to travel the state. You got to know what the farmers need. You got to have conversations with the farmers. You got to know what small business owners need. You got to have that conversation. Being a business coach and a consultant, I can have those conversations. So you got to be able to, you can't just push, we got to stand on the Constitution. Yes, our Constitution is very, very, very important. Without it, we lost. But we have to make sure that we deal with everyday issues that the people of Wisconsin is voting us in office for, to make sure of those things, and to shrink government at the same time by solving the problems. So and that's how we need to do that. Let's see. Well, the first thing that needs to be done to small business owners is we have to go inside every community in the state of Wisconsin and look at what we call small business owners, because there's different brackets of small business owners. Some that got 500 employees, some that got 100 employees, some that got 5 employees, and some that don't even have any employees, but they still a small business owner. And I like to change their mindset to not call themselves, not to say they have a small business, but to say they have a thriving business. And so that way, the mindset of the owner will think out of the box and want to grow. And I can show them how to grow their business, but I will make sure that the money really get down to small business owners. I have seen it where small business owners have roadblocks, like in Milwaukee. I know small business owners who had a hard time getting open, but when they went to West Allis or Shorewood, they was able to open within a week. So we got to make sure that we're really fighting for the small business owners, and that the regulations and fees will be removed so they can thrive and they can grow. Because the thing about it is, America is built on the backbones of small business owners, not big corporations, but small business owners. So we have to be there for the small business owners, and to make sure that they have everything they need to be successful, and going on the side of them and making sure that they can thrive. And not only that, but encourage other people who wants to open up businesses, because they can partner with the big corporations, and the big corporation can subcontract some of that business to small business owners, so those small business owners can continue to strive. I'll let you on the next show, Rustin. This is a meet and greet. I got to deal with this one, sir. Well, the big guy that's making the decisions for the health department, one of the things I would like for us to do is I would like for us to really sit down with the Department of Health and re-interview those people to make sure that they are in it for the people and not in it for whoever paying them to say or do anything. I think we need to rethink those things. I mean, look at the Department of Health in Wisconsin. I mean, in Milwaukee, and there was lead water in our pipes for so long, but that was not a big issue to them at the time. So I think we need to re-interview a lot of people and then put the right people in there who has the people best interests at heart and not an organization, not a corporation. So I think that's one of the things that we need to relook at and revisit, and so that way we can get the right people in the right positions. And I think that's where we don't have to owe nobody, but we pick the right people for the job, and that's something. And I wanted that person to be somebody that also open to holistic doctors and also master herbalist, somebody. Well, you're dealing with the whole health department, the whole medical field, whether it's doctors or holistic doctors, pharmaceutical or master herbalists. I want families to have that opportunity. So I think we need to revisit, look at everybody that's working in that department and making sure they have an open mind, so that way the people can get the better care that they need. Oh, y'all got them coming today. Let me see. And see, that's another problem. We got to make sure that if they are over the health department, they got some kind of medical background. And the thing about it is, we just put people there because we owe them something, or that we owe somebody else something. So that's why I say with the hiring process, we have to revisit that thing, and we have to make sure these people are qualified to sit in those positions. Let's see. Well, that is I would say you would have to look at that as an honor, because when I first started off, I started off saying God back in government, principles back in politics. And one of my opponents took and put principles back in politics on their literatures and everything. And so I'm not I'm not worried about it. I mean, I'm flattered. I take it as an honor. Um, but you also have to understand, I think the voters of Wisconsin is smarter than that. I don't think they're going to be manipulated this time. I think if they slow down and they really start thinking, because right now we got to figure out who is going to be the best to represent us that can defeat Evers. And it's not about if somebody's a nice guy. It's not about if somebody create this awesome image. It's not about if somebody, I mean, even on some literatures, they put stuff on there that don't even make sense. And they're saying things that doesn't even line up with the job of all of these places, whether it's lieutenant governor, governor, secretary of state, treasurer. If you just listen to people, then you're sitting there and you're sitting there like, wow, okay, is they really, really talking like this? So the thing about it is, what you have to do is don't feel upset about it, but feel honored. Feel honored, because that means what you have to say, they feel that it's worthy of it. But if they can never steal, one of the things you have to understand, nobody can ever steal your vision. Nobody can never steal your vision. So they can take a piece, like the one took principles out of principles back in politics. But see, here's the problem with that. The principles that I was talking about was the principles of God. And if you don't have God, you can't bring those principles back in politics. So people can use principles back in politics, but if you ask them to break it down, they can't break it down because the principles that I'm talking about, because remember now, I said God back in government and the principles back in politics. If you're not connected to God, you don't understand the principles of God. So they can never really break it down what they mean by it. It'll sound good, but they just won't know what it really means. So so when we're talking, you guys, uh, and that's one of the reason is see here's the thing, you guys. One of the things that we have to understand and realize is this: we got a lot that we're fighting against, a lot that we're fighting against, and voter integrity, voter fraud. One, we're trying to make sure we got honest, fair elections, but then you got children that's been charged with sexual harassment because they said she instead of they or them. You got teachers getting fired because they don't want to do the transgender and the sexuality stuff to our kids. Um, you got uh, an economic crisis coming. You got a food shortage coming. I mean, we got to get prepared uh, to deal with these issues, and everybody can't handle it. We already saw those that was elected in 2020 can't handle pressure. So we have to make sure that those fights are up, and the fight for parents taking not taking the vaccine. I mean, all of those things we have to begin to fight. And I don't, I'm not in this thing to just sit around. So so you know, so it's people going through a lot, and so we have to make sure that some of this stuff can get turned around. We have to make sure that some of this stuff can be overturned, but it would never be overturned if we are not choosing the right people. If we're just picking a person for a one pony show, then that's all you get. That's all you're going to get. And so we have to be more aware, more conscious of a lot of things. So uh, I want to be the first to say publicly, thank you for you fighting. Thank you for fighting for me. Well, I'm honored for that. Like I said, I'm always in this fight, um, win or lose. But that's just who I am. I help anybody that need help. And so when we look at this thing, we have to look at it for what it really is. And it's about the average person. It's not about, and you guys, we got to understand this. It's not about Democrat or Republican. It's about the people. Everybody's hurting. There's people hurting on the Republican side, on the Democrat side, on the Libertarian side, on the Independent side. There's people hurting as a Green Party. There's people hurting that ain't connected with any party. And so we have to get to the place where we're focused on the people and not just the party. And when I got in this race, I got in it not thinking of myself. I got in this race to make sure that I am able to help the people of Wisconsin. I did not get in this race to be so I can have any self-gain. I wanted to fight for the people. I wanted to make sure that the people had true representation, because we don't have true representation right now, whether we want to admit it or not. We don't have nobody that's really ready to stand up and fight for us, whether we want to admit it or not. We don't have people right now that are thinking about the people and not themselves, because most people are looking at it as a career. I'm not looking at it as a career. I'm looking at it as going in to be there to represent the people of Wisconsin, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, independent, libertarian. It doesn't matter to me. Long as you're a citizen of Wisconsin, a resident of Wisconsin, that's what matters to me. Our children are not getting a good education. Our children are being confused. Our families are being torn apart. And I'm not just talking about husband and wife. We got brothers and sisters not speaking to one another based on, we got friends that are not speaking just because of different candidates that they decide to support, that it turned into a war. It should have never been a war. It should have never been where just because you pick one candidate, somebody picks somebody else where you ain't not speaking. And the sad part about it is only happening on our side. It's not happening on the Democrat side. It's only happening on our side with people who calling themselves conservative, patriots, Christians. The fight is here. And the Democrats sitting back laughing because they said, look at them Christians. They're not even speaking to one another. Look at them Christians. They are all divided, kicking people out of groups. We're supposed to be bringing people together so we can start the healing process. We're supposed to be bringing people together so we can strengthen our education system for our children, for our freedom. But we don't even give each other freedom of speech because we kick each other out of groups who have a different opinion. Now you tell me, are we better than the left? The left doing cancel culture, and we're doing it to one another because we don't pick the same candidate. We got to start the healing process because we're in battle. When there's a war on, you don't see the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, and the Army fighting each other. They come together because they have a common goal: defeat the enemy, to take out the enemy. We have to be the same way. We got to come together and we got to stop the nonsense. We got to stop. Well, if my candidate don't win, I'm not voting. Then you're not dealing with voter integrity. Then you're not a true patriot. You're not a true American when you decide to stay out of the fight because of a certain person didn't win the race. We're bringing more division than we are coming together. And we're not going to win and defeat Tony Evers when we can't come together even before this primary is over. So we have to come together and we have to stop all of this nonsense, calling each other all these names. What we have to do is look around, do our homework, get the best candidate, and surround ourselves with that best candidate to go out, because the common goal is to make Tony Evers a one-term governor. Let me get back to this because y'all starting to write now, and I want to make sure that I get it. Well, thank you for that. Let me see. Yup, we need to stop that too. I don't know who this is that says that's saying the wait a minute. Oh, okay. When y'all come in when y'all first get in, tell us where y'all on what side of the time, what side are y'all on? What side of the state you guys on? I want to touch this one. The party is not dividing the people. Listen to me carefully. The party is not dividing the people. The people are dividing the people. The party is not in the patriot groups, where the patriot groups, if one person supporting one person and somebody else is supporting somebody else, and they block people off of those groups. Party is not doing that. The people are doing that. The party is not making people lie and says, well, we are patriot groups and we ain't endorsing nobody, and then you endorsing people behind the back. The party is not doing that. The people are doing that. We got to stop putting the blame on the party and put it on ourselves. And I told y'all from the day I got in this race, I would never tell you what you want to hear, but I'll definitely tell us what we need to hear. We're doing this when we cannot agree. It's okay to agree not to agree to not disagree, or to whatever. But what I'm saying is this: we're doing that. Look how many people started off as patriots until candidates started to run for race, and look how many people divided when one candidate dropped down into another race. Look how much division that brought, and people started pushing people out of the groups. Party didn't do that. Party didn't do that. To tell somebody that they're not a true patriot, all of us are Americans. The party didn't do that. So we're doing it to ourselves, and we got to just wake up and ask God to forgive us, because those of us who claim to belong to God, those of us who claim to love God, we should not be doing this way. You got a person, I got a person. My good friend, Scott came to me, good friend of mine, came to me, told me he was going to endorse another candidate because he gave his word that he would work with that candidate on his campaign. We never stop talking to one another. We go to dinner, his wife and my wife, we all go to dinner. We hug each other. We tell each other we love each other. I did his son's wedding. We never stopped. We didn't never miss the beat of being friends. We respect each other for what it really was. And so if we're supposed to be mature people, then we should be able to disagree and still agree that the enemy, and I don't want to use the word enemy, but the goal is to get rid of Tony Evers. The goal is to make him a one-term governor. So the party is not breaking us up. We're doing it to ourselves because we're trying to be selfish, or we just trying to make, or we're pushing somebody that we want to see in that office. But the question that we have to ask ourselves, the person that we're pushing, can they beat Evers and his team? That's what we got to look at. Let me catch up with y'all. I see all of these. Let me catch up. Okay, this is Michelle. Jumping in late. I was out putting up flyers for our event. Do you believe in? I totally believe in medical freedom. I believe nobody should be forced to deal with anything unless it's a family decision. I don't think it should be a government decision, a doctor decision. I don't think it should be a school decision. I really don't even think it should be a military decision. I think should be an individual decision. But when it comes to the military, lieutenant governor, the governor has nothing to say about the military. So it's nothing we can do about medical freedom in the military. Our grandson is in the military, and he had to, if he wanted to keep his career, he had to take it, and he took it. So there's nothing we can do about the military, but I will fight to make sure there's no one being forced. Now, there's a difference. Now, we got to look at this too. There's a difference being forced, and there's a difference being scared. Because sometimes you're not forced to do it, they're scaring you to do it. Now, there is companies that force people to take the shots or to do anything like that, but then there was people that took it because they were scared. So we got to look at the difference. And anytime you misinform, you're going to get scared. But if we empower the people again with information, then they can make the right decision for themselves. All right, let me see. Michelle, tell people what part of the state you're from if you didn't put it up there yet. Well, you're gonna always get people that shun you if you don't go along with them. Those are people that try to deceive or manipulate you. If first of all, we in America. Secondly, God gave everybody a free will. So everybody has a free will on who they want to support. This is your free will. Nobody is programming anybody to join or force anybody on anybody's team. And I respect anybody who choose to pick a candidate. I had a lady who put up there that she was voting for my opponent, and I said, "Thank God, at least you're voting." You know, we have to get to that place where we okay if they don't pick. You know, if you're not the one that they want to support, that's okay. If I'm one that nobody want to support, I'm okay with that as well. I'm not going to not love you. I'm not going to not help you. If you need help and you call my phone, you're going to get help, whether you support me or not. And I'm not doing it for you to support me. I'm doing it because that's just who I am. Yes, we got to come together. I cannot. Kat, can you tell us where you from too? Because of the fact that I need to, I just want people to know where people are at across the state. So, Kathy, if you can tell us where you from. Um, let's see. Some of y'all gonna have to say y'all name because I really want to know who y'all are and where you from. Because it's for me, it's very important. Um, let's see. If Clayfish or Michael makes it through the November, well, here's the thing about it. Whoever the next governor is, and I make it through, which I'm believing I'm going to make it through, but whoever the next governor is, I want to be able to work with. The problem with Joanne Ellis, I met her. She's a nice person. She's running independent. The state of Wisconsin and the people are not yet ready because we have been programmed to a two system. And if I'm not mistaken, she don't even have a lieutenant governor candidate. So then that's going to be interesting too. But she's not going to pour the Democrat votes or the moderate Democrats to the independent. So when we look at this, we just have to look at this for what it really is, no matter who comes out of the primary, whether it's Clayfish, Michaels, or Ramtham. We just need somebody strong enough that can go against the Democrats' machine and defeat it. And we have to make if we belong to God, we cannot use the word "I'm not going to vote" if my candidate don't come out of the primary. We can't use that. You can't tell me you belong to God. God don't operate like that. God doesn't operate like that. So what we have to do is make sure that we have the strongest candidate, governor candidate, that's going to come out of the primary, the strongest one that can defeat Evers. And those are the times, this is the time where we need to do our homework. It's not going to happen. I don't care who it is. It's not going to happen if we don't have the right combination coming out of August 9th. We're going to just give Evers we're just going to give Evers 2 terms. And you got to ask yourself, while we being selfish saying we're not going to vote, is our kids' life worth 4 more years of Tony Evers? Can our business survive 4 more years of Tony Evers? What is at stake is what we got to look at. Yes, we see what's going on with the election, but let's move the election fraud and all of that out of the way. Can my children education go another 4 years with Tony Evers in office? Can my business survive another 4 years with Tony Evers in office? Is my health if my medical freedom can survive another 4 years with Tony Evers in office? Can the economy survive another 4 years with Tony Evers in office? Is Wisconsin going to be safe in the next 4 years as Tony Evers in office? These are the questions we got to ask ourselves besides the voter fraud in the 2020 election. We got to ask ourselves all of these questions. And if your children's life don't mean nothing to you, where you don't want to vote or you don't want to do anything, and you're going to walk away because your candidate did not win, then shame. Shame on you that we'll give Evers 4 more years. Shame on you. And I say that to anybody. Shame on you that you're willing to give Evers 4 more years because your candidate didn't win. Shame on you. That's selfish. That's not the American way. Our children's lives is at stake. We cannot afford to take our basketball and go home. We in this fight for the freedom. We have seen what America looked like when God is at the head of it, and now we live in it, what America looked like when God is not in the head of it. The spirit of division and fighting and hatred and malice is all running rampant in our cities, in our state, and in our nation. And then we're going to join the team and be selfish and not vote because our candidate don't win. That's not right. And I tell y'all all the time, I would never say what you want to hear, but I'm just going to tell you how I feel. This is the candidate, what you're getting from this candidate. This is what you're getting from me. And we have to make sure that whatever we do, we make Evers a one-term. So no matter who comes out of the primary, we have to support them, no matter what. No matter what. And if I thought, and I'll say this, if I thought running as an independent can win the governor's seat, then I would have ran for governor as an independent. I was asked many times to run for governor. I would have ran for governor as an independent, but that would have split the votes, and Evers would have ended up being a 2-term governor. So if you in it for the people, you got to understand you can't be selfish. You got to look at it for what it really is, and you have to make the most righteous decision so that we can get rid of Evers, period. Let me keep moving. I'm enjoying this, though. I love this. Where are we at? Where I'm at? Okay, where am I? Wow, are y'all making so many comments? I lost where I'm at. Hold on. I'll find you in a minute. Okay. If Clayfish, okay, I just addressed that. Hey, Cat, yeah. Okay. Michelle is from Polk County. Good to have Polk County in here. Let's see. This all starts with Voss. I've been out there. The party is. Okay. Let me say this so we all understand. We all know what Robin Voss did. But here's the problem that we have to understand in Robin Voss. The people in Robin Voss district has to dislike him enough to vote him out August 9th. But if they don't, then every county, every district around here has to make sure that their state assembly person do not vote Robin Voss speaker again. So you have to understand there's 2 ways. There's the way where you deal with him on August 9th, or there's a way you deal with him with every other state assembly person, and you're telling them to do this. I wish I know who's writing that because there's no name coming up with that. So I'm trying to figure out who's saying that. Put your name in there and tell us where you're from. You know, I like to hear. I want people to be transparent out here and tell us who they are and where they're from. So when it comes to Robin Voss district got to be so displeased with him that they get rid of him August 9th. If they don't, then you got to talk to every state representative, state assemblyman, and say, do not make him Speaker of the House no more. That's the only 2 ways we're going to be able to deal with Robin Voss, because I'm in Milwaukee County. I can't vote against him. People in Kenosha can't vote against him. People in Polk County can't vote against him. People in Jackson County, no other county can do it. His district is the only one that can do it. So when we look at this thing, and we have to look at it for what it really is. And the people in his district has to vote him out. If they don't vote him out, then you talk to your state rep and your state representative and tell them, do not make him Speaker of the House. That's the only thing we can do against Robin Voss. And if y'all really want him out that bad, leave your county and go down into his district and help knock doors. Okay, let's see. Yes, it is. But see, here's the thing about it. You know they're dirty. You know they're doing things. But we keep putting them in office just because they got an R behind their name. We're putting these people in office because the organization itself doesn't have enough votes by themselves to put somebody in office. So we is at fault with this. We are putting these people in office. And the thing that we have to understand and do is we have to make sure we, the people, speak on August 9th and on November the 8th. You want different? You have an opportunity to get different. You want change? You have opportunity to get change. But you got to make that decision on August 9th. Because the party itself can't make that decision by themselves. So you got to make that decision on August 9th. Okay, wait a minute, y'all. A lot of y'all is talking. Okay, freedom fighter of Central Wisconsin, Endorse America. And we the people, we support candidates. Okay, that's great. And you know what? I believe that everybody hopefully everybody that's running endorse America. We endorse America. We love our country. But at the same time, what we also have to look at and realize is this. If we really do our homework, if we really sit down and I'll say it this way. We are just as bad as they are. We say the party is dirty and the party doing things. Let's look at this. Y'all don't mind because I told y'all I'd never tell you what you want to hear, but I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear. Let's look at this. We talk about the party, right? And we say, and the party is walking out of character. They're not walking in integrity. They're doing some things, right? And this is what we hear people say. But you got candidates that people are endorsing and supporting that have lied like the party lied, have manipulated people like the party manipulate people, have done devious things, and we have supported them, endorsed them, and everything, knowing they lied, knowing they walked out of character, knowing that that they're setting up this image and it's not the true person. We know these people ain't no good, knowing when they use God's scriptures, but their life is not looking like they belong to God. The Bible says you'll know a person by the fruit they bear. So we knowing they lying, they deceiving, they manipulating, but yet we still support them. So what make us better than them? The first place we have to look is in the mirror. The first place we have to look is in the mirror. I told a gentleman today, I said, listen, the people you hanging around, I can't come around y'all because they are not people that's walking in integrity. They are not people that's walking in character. Did you do your homework on them? Well, no. Well, since you didn't do your homework, guess what? I can't be around it. You got to know. That's why I tell y'all, do your homework, research. If a person, if lying in the primary, that's a red flag. They're gonna lie through the whole 4 years they in office. If a person cannot stand up and fight, and when the pressure get hot, be in there and deal with it, then what are we doing? What are we really doing? We're just putting somebody because we're like them, or or did they deceive us that much that we putting them in office? See, this is why we can't get nowhere, because we're not looking for character, we're not looking for integrity. We're just looking for somebody that can lie the best, that can manipulate us the best, that can deceive us the best. And here's the sad part about it. You see the red flags, you see the lies. It's just like a woman when she's dating a guy, and all of a sudden, every time his phone rings at a certain time, and he get up and walk away from her to answer that phone. But before then, every other call, he sit there and answer that call. That's a red flag. But if you overlook the red flags, then you got what you wanted. So because here's the thing about it, you ignore the red flags. The Democrats is not going to ignore those red flags. You ignore them lying. The Democrats is not going to ignore those lies. This is what I'm talking about. Kenosha GOP members are corrupt. Well, you know what? Again, it's not even about endorsement. I know some endorsement come with money, but it's not about endorsement. What did I tell y'all? I was not going to play the endorsement game. I didn't play the endorsement game. What did I do? I stayed outside of it. I stayed at my booth. I changed my delegate badge to a guest badge because I was not going to. You shouldn't work. See, we're focused on the wrong thing. That's just like, again, if you go into if you got an away game, a basketball game that's away, and you already know it's 8 against 5, the 5 players, the 2 referees, and the crowd. You already know that. So anybody in here didn't think that the GOP didn't already have their select of who they wanted to support in this race, in any race, then you don't need to be. You need to go to Politics 101. Anybody that think there's a dream team, or you put a team together from different races, and you need to go to Politics 101. There's never should be putting a team together. You should never. Now, the people, I'm not saying as a people, the people can put whoever they want. There's people, the individual person can say, I want this person, this person, this person. That's fine. But when you got candidates doing that, you need to go to Politics 101. I would never tell you who I'm voting for governor. All I'm going to tell you is whoever become the governor, I'm going to compliment them or agitate them. It's based on what they do. So it's not about, we got to understand the politics. You can't come in the game if you don't know the game. And you cannot just get the people to say everything is unfair because it's not going your way. You have to be just as hungry, if not hungrier, than anybody in this fight. Anybody in this fight. Again, it's not, I'm going to just say it like this. The party do they dirt, but the party people is not the ones that fighting. There are some of you on here now that you're not speaking to people because they supporting somebody and you're supporting somebody, or you got kicked out of groups because y'all not supporting the same person. So we cannot just throw everything on the party. We have to take responsibility for a lot of this stuff that we're doing. We're doing a lot of division ourselves. It's not just the party. Come on now. It's not just the party. We are doing division ourselves. We got to stop. We have to look at it for what it really is. And we have to say to ourselves, you know what? We cannot allow to divide. We cannot allow to say anything. Yes, the party does their part, and I'm not taking up for the party, but I'm also not going to take up for us and make us victims. we are just as bad as they are. We had groups that was doing events and they was letting all the candidates speak. Now that it's getting closer, you already know who they voting for because of the simple fact that they're just bringing in certain people to speak. But that's okay. We already know these things was going to happen. That's not nothing new. We have to come together and be truthful to everything. And you know what? We now, Russ, you and I, we know the story. So, and you're absolutely right. And you gotta understand it, you guys. People are going to everybody is not going to play fair. My question to those of us on here and that are believers, I am not going to, let me just say this. I am not going to allow anybody to put anything in my heart that's going to separate me from my God. So I guard my heart. I'm not going to allow anybody. I received dirt on so many people, but I choose not to use none of it because that's not who I am. That is not who I am. I can release some stuff on a couple of candidates. 3 or 4 in the lieutenant governor's race, 1 in the secretary of state's race. But I am not going to, that's not who I am. If I deal with truth, I'm gonna deal with truth, and that's it. We gotta come together, you guys. Quit this pointing finger stuff and start with say it's me. I'm the one. I'm the one because I have a pick, and I'm the one. I'm going to bring my people and says whoever wins, we're coming together and we're going to make sure Evers is out of office. Because if you don't and you allow our children to suffer for 4 more years, don't tell me you're American. Don't tell me that you love this country. Don't tell me that you're about we the people and you allow Evers 4 more years because your candidate didn't get past the primary. Don't tell me you belong, that you're a proud American. Don't tell me that you are a true patriot or a true conservative when you allow Evers to win because your candidate didn't win. So don't even tell me that you are true to the red, white, and blue, because I'm not buying it. I'm not going to buy it. And that's just me. I might lose votes for saying what I'm saying tonight, but I'm okay with that because I'm always going to be real with everything. This is how you get healed, by telling the truth. Our children's lives at stake. Our children being confused. They're forcing mess on them. The federal government just gave $82 million for SEL. So you're trying to tell me that our children being confused is not important than who you want to vote for, because they lie, and you see the lies in most of these candidates. You see the lies in their campaign. So I'm not buying all that. Okay, let me see. I can tell you I'm standing for what I believe in, and that don't mean selling out what I believe in just to win. That is not integrity. So what is integrity to you? Because if we got a lot of win, that's not integrity. If we got a lot of win, that's not integrity. If we got to manipulate people, that's not integrity. If we got to deceive folks so they can vote for us, that is not integrity. That is not integrity. So when we're talking about integrity, we have to make sure that whatever we're doing, you know, if a person change just to win, if they cheat just to win, if they deceive the people just to win, if they playing with people's emotions just to win, what do you think what they're going to do when they get in office? They will sell us out. And that's just the bottom line. We see it all the time. Yep, they sure did. And we know that. We know it, Russ, and we know there's a problem, but we have to get the right people in office so we can address it and deal with it. It is not going to happen no other way until we put people in office that's going to deal with it. This is how we do it. It's not going to happen any other way. We have to get it done that way. Let me see my phone. I got to see who this person is. Hold on, y'all. I just got to see. Somebody else is on here. I don't know who that is. Okay. Well, Brock. Okay, Brock, that's you. But then there's somebody else just put something up about both parties. So I don't know who this person is right here, but whoever it is, can you please say something? The establishment on both sides has abused us for decades. Stout voting for party establishment candidates for good. Use grassroots group to run we the people candidates. We absolutely must take political power back right now from this establishment. You know what? You is absolutely right. But here's the thing though. We need grassroots people, or we the people that are really for we the people in office. But those people should have a right message as well. People who got off their couch 2 years ago doesn't get a pass, like they all of a sudden now is uh the chosen one or anything like that. We still need people that are people of character. We still need people that are uh, people that are genuine. Because here's the thing about it: you can put a we the people candidate in office, but if they never walked in integrity, they'll sell us out too. They would go along to get along. I'm not going in to go along to get along. So we have to make sure we vet the people that say they we the people. So we have to make sure that the people we pick, this is why I tell y'all, do your homework, do your research, know the people that's running, and make sure that those people That is so true. It would definitely come here. Okay, let's see. The only way we come together is we the people siding with establishment party and broken system will be voting for the same fallen system that led us to this point. And I can say right now, if Rampton don't make it through, I'm voting. This moment right now is the best time in history to take politics power back. We must unite right now and send a clear message to the elites and establishment right now in this moment. Okay, so let me see who that is. I got to see that. Now that one might be Brock. Let me just make sure that's Brock. Cancel that. Um, let me say this, and again, you might not like what I have to say, and I'm okay with that. If Rampton don't win, and you take that vote and give it to a person who don't have a chance to win, then you helping Evers become a second-term governor. If you take that vote and throw it in the independent pile, then you're taking a vote away from we the people. You're taking a vote away from the conservative, and you're making that vote a dead duck. And then that's one less vote for us. So we don't gain over Tony Evers. This is what I'm telling you guys, that we have to slow down and we have to really think this thing out. Think this thing out. We have to think this thing all the way out. We have to put, and I can't state enough, we have to put the strongest candidates against Evers. That vote goes into the independent pile is just is technically a vote for Evers, because you're taking a vote away from our side and you're allowing Evers to become a two-term governor. And so this is what I'm talking about. If y'all candidate don't win, then, and you give that vote away, you giving that vote to Evers. You're literally turning over your vote to Evers when you giving it to an independent candidate that doesn't have a chance. She don't have a chance. Don't nobody know her name. Only a few people know her name. Her name is not in Milwaukee. Her name is not really in Madison. Her name is not in Kenosha. Her name might be in Green Bay because she's dealing with people up in that area. But you giving a vote away. When you do that, then you want Evers to be two terms. You want him to be two terms. So are you really fighting for we the people, or are you fighting against we the people? Because whatever part of the system that's broken, you can't fix it unless we're on the inside. So if you giving away a vote, you're giving Evers a vote. When you don't vote, you're giving Evers a vote. So when we take our votes and we shift it to independents, knowing that they don't have a chance because they don't even have the money as an independent, don't have enough money to get the name out here just like the other ones. So if we're giving away the election. So that's what we're saying now. If Rampton don't win, we're going to give the election away by giving our votes to an independent. Then you're not for the people. You can't be for the people if you're doing that. If you're going to waste your vote and give it to an independent, then you can't tell me you for We the People, because We the People doesn't do that. We the People make sure we got the strongest candidate to go up to get rid of Evers. That's the bottom line. That's the goal of this whole thing. And I told y'all, I'm only going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And I'm not one of those. I'm looking at this thing because we at war. We at a battle. It's good versus evil. That's what we up against right now. It's good versus evil. And you cannot tell me you're standing for We the People when you take a vote and give it to a place that is going to be wasted, because there's no way this person is going to be able to beat Evers or who come out of the Republican. Their name is out. Their name is not out there like it's supposed to be. Their message is not resonating with the people like it's supposed to be. So when we do that, we're giving the election away. You know what? You're absolutely right. And the problem is we're not sitting down thinking. See, we're playing with lives right now. August 9th is very important. And I think you need to have serious conversations with everybody you know and ask them why you support this person, and ask them a serious question. Do you think that the person that you're about to vote for, even me, do you think that person can help defeat the Democrat Party? If the answer is no, then don't vote for me. If the answer is no for someone else, then don't vote for them. We need the toughest, the strongest team out here, which message will resonate with everybody to get rid of Evers. This is what August 9th is all about. It's not about I like you, but you can't get the job done because I like you. Everybody you make a manager is not a leader either. Everybody you make a manager is not a leader. They just have a title, but they're not a leader. They don't have the attributes and the quality of a leader. They just a manager because you wanted them there. So we cannot afford. I can't stress it enough. We cannot afford to allow Evers 4 more years. And if we're going to do things to make him 4 more years, then shame on you. Shame on us to stand for what we believe in. I don't sell out for nobody. God wouldn't want us to sell out our integrity just to win. Rantham and Jonah, the party or establishment is done for. The system is broken and it is time to fix it. You're asking us to sell out what we believe in to win. No, I'm not asking you to sell out. I never asked you to sell out on nothing. I didn't say it. Did I say sell out? I never told anybody to sell out. But what I'm saying to you is this. You're saying that if Rantham don't win, you're going to vote for an independent, knowing that independent can't win. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. See, the thing about it is this. I know every governor candidate. I know them all. Talk to them all. I like them all. I have no ill against anybody. I know them all. But at the same time, when I make my decision on who I'm gonna vote for, my decision is not based on if I like them, because I like them all. My decision is going to be based on, can they win? Can they beat Evers? And if they don't win, I still can support the other 3 that might win. So my thing is, I'm not going to switch and go and vote independent, knowing the independent person is not going to beat Evers. And anybody who think the independent person is going to be Evers, then that's not selling out. That's reality of life. The reality of life is we're playing with the children's future because we like somebody or we dislike somebody. The problem that we have is not selling out. It's getting something done. And I'm not asking nobody. Everybody has the right to do whatever they want to do. But one thing, and Ed said this, and I got to give Ed his props on this. Ed said a while ago that True Colors was going to come out before August 9th. And when we as individuals, as a people, as we the people, as God-fearing people, now you brought God into this, so let's deal with it God's way. If God told us to sit down and count the costs, what man doesn't sit down and count the costs before he start building? We got to sit down and count the costs. What happens if Evers gets back in? What happens if Evers get back in? So we're not telling you to sell out. That's your choice, whoever you want to vote for. That's your choice. But to take that vote and put it in an independent who has no chance of winning, unless you have influence over 1 million people. If you have influence over 1 million people and you can get 1 million people to convert to vote for that independent, then I'll say yes. But your influence is not over 1 million people. We have to look at this thing for what it really is right now. That's all I'm saying. First of all, it's not Voss attitude. These people are operating on their own. They have been like this all their life. Voss attitude is not in Milwaukee County. Milwaukee County attitude is not the best. Waukesha attitude is not the best. Everybody attitude is different, and they treat people differently. Robin Voss attitude didn't have anything to do with Eau Claire when Eau Claire told us to sign the paper or we're not allowed to speak there. Each individual has their own choice, just like you choose to vote for Ramtham and Joanne if Ramtham don't win. Nobody did that for you. You made your own mind up for that. So we got to stop with this. Voss did everything. Voss did some stuff. It's out there. He took Ramtham's staff. It's out there. Now the people in Voss district got to deal with that. Everything else, we as individuals. For example, the person you supporting for lieutenant governor, he lied and came out of the governor race and lied. That was one lie. Then he made another lie and said it was selfless. And then he endorsed Ramtham. That was another lie. Then he lied again and said he didn't want the establishment to have anything to do with the establishment. He said he didn't want anything to do with the endorsement not being select, but he wanted to be elect. And what did he do? He goes to the convention and says, I deserve your endorsement. So when you was talking about as people of God and walking upright, and you're endorsing people that does that kind of stuff, I mean, come on now. We cannot have it both ways. If we're going to be on a one-way street and walk in honesty and integrity and character, then let's walk. If it's a two-way street, then you do it, I do it, then that's fine too. But we got to stick to the main thing. And the main thing is getting rid of Robin Voss. That's the main thing. He got to go. But that's something that his district can do. Nobody else have the power to get rid of Robin Voss but his district. His district got to say, we're sick and tired of you. August 9th, you're gone. If his district doesn't do that, There's nothing nobody else can do. And Robin Voss is not God that he can manipulate everybody. I don't believe that. Yeah, he do some dumb stuff, but if you allow somebody to manipulate you, then I just say it's your fault, because everybody has to do what they do. You know, we got a lot. I got to catch up, you guys. So let me keep going. And Rusty, you are your own man, and you have the right to do whatever you want to do. Every last one of us is our own individual. Every last one of us has to do what we feel is right. But, Rusty, you can't vote in the primary for a Democrat. You only can vote for me in that primary, Rusty. Remember that. You can't cross over. So don't even vote for a Democrat in that primary, sir. Okay, if watch this. If the people are being abused by the party that's inside the party, then when it was time to vote, it should have been enough people in there to vote those people out of that seat of the county chair. Sheboygan got a new county chair who's part of We the People. Ross is part of We the People. He's a strong patriot. He's over the Sheboygan County. Ed just joined the Republican Party. He's vice chair, I believe, of one of the parties. So if the party is that bad and y'all in there, y'all should have enough people to overturn who's in charge and take it over. If not, then just get out of the abuse. Simple as that. Get out of the abuse. Because I'm not going to stay nowhere where I'm being abused. Well, I'll tell you this. If everybody is not careful, both parties is going to mess around and end up being gone because of the mess that they're doing. Yes, you know what, Kathy, you're absolutely right. And here's the thing about it. The only reason we vote for the lesser two evils is because we don't get the people of God out to vote. The people of God got to get out of the churches. They have to vote for godly men. I'm a pastor myself. I'm in this race. I stand on the word of God. I live the word of God. I act out the word of God in my life. So, but we also have to look at it like this. If and Joan Ellis, I met her. I have great conversation with her, but I got to be realistic. If we vote for her, if we switch over and vote independent, then what we're doing is giving Evers a 2 terms. And what do I mean by that? When you take away from the conservatives and you vote that independent, that's one less vote for the conservatives that got to go up with against the Democrat machine that is going to have all of their base voting. So again, if her name was across the state like it's supposed to be, then I would say, okay, we have a strong independent candidate. But if her name is not across the state like it's supposed to be, then let's be real with this thing. We don't have a strong independent candidate that is going to be able to beat either machines. And those are the things we got to look at when we do this. Okay, somebody said they have a different opinion. I don't know who's saying that. Can you tell me who you are? I know Brock is one of them. Let me see. I'm trying to see who is that. So I want to know what their opinion is. Okay, Brock, stop, Brock. They have called themselves. They have said it out of their own mouth, Brock. They called themselves the Dream Team, Brock. Come on now. If we're gonna talk, let's talk real. No mess. It is not that the people just like them. They called themselves that. No lieutenant governor, only one lieutenant governor attached himself to a governor candidate. Only one lieutenant governor attached himself not only to a governor candidate, but attached himself to a secretary of state candidate and attached himself to an attorney general candidate and called themselves the Dream Team. They called themselves themselves. It ain't had nothing to do with the people. It's they said, and the people followed what they were saying. They did that themselves. So again, let's just be truthful about everything. This is, see, the lying and the manipulation and the deception is what keep us messed up. They opened their own mouth and called themselves the Dream Team. They have then called themselves the Fantastic Five or the Fabulous Five when they added Adam Steen to that. And I showed it to Adam Steen, and he made sure it got taken down. So don't say that these people ain't doing it and it's we the people that's doing that, because it's not we the people that's doing that. They did that themselves. It came out of their own mouth. Let's see. Not asking us to sell out or any other such thing. There is no reason we can't all stand for what and who we believe in. However, we don't have to hate those standing for someone other than who we choose to stand with. Everyone true colors will show in how they act after the primary, then we would have to unite. You know, I always tell Team King, keep your feelings to the side, keep your emotions together, don't worry about it. I got on my big boy draws. I can handle anything. I need you guys to continue to love people. You know, don't get into these brawls. Don't get into it. Let's stay focused on our assignment, because we got to unite afterwards. I don't want us not coming together after August 9th. August 10th, we need to have a game plan on how we're going to be Evers, no matter who in office, no matter who it is. We still got to come together. We still gotta get rid of Evers. We still got to fix our state. We still got to make sure that we deal with the issues that is hindering our families and everything. So we know it's a mess. We know it's some work need to be done on our side. Forget the Democrat side, the Republican side, the conservative side, the patriot side, the American side, whatever side you claim to be on this side. We still got division in here, and we need to come together. We need to unite. We need to be able to reconcile on August 10th. We need to be able to reason together. And if we can't do that, then it's a done deal. So let's put them on. We need the favor of God that comes with you in the capital. We need God, and we need God now. We need God right now in the midst of everything that's going on, because God is not part of confusion. God is not the author of confusion. God is not in confusion. So we need to slow down. We need to breathe. We need to talk to God. We need to ask God to show us exactly what it is that He wants us to do. It's nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all. I don't see. This is the point I'm trying to make. It's nothing wrong with you kicking people out. If you don't want people in your group, that's your group. This is America. That's fine. But when we are doing things and people are choosing sides, and that's great. They're choosing sides and they are doing things what they feel is right. And that's one thing. But to take your basketball and go home because it didn't go the way you wanted to go. And the reason a lot of people are saying that, because it's getting close, reality is coming out too. Reality, people is now sitting at home thinking about things. Thinking about, do I really have a chance? Am I really going to make it through? Am I really going to come out on August 9th? Do I have enough support? Do I have enough? Is my message strong enough to get me through? Are people resonating with what I'm saying? Do people want realness, or is they going to just go along to get along? What is it that people want? I mean, these are the things that's going through the mind. Did our lives, did they catch me in my life? Did they catch me in anything? You know, that's why when the thing came out about my child support, it didn't go nowhere, because everybody, when I first got in the race, said, if you look up me, you're going to find out that I have some rear and child support that I need to pay off to my ex-wife. I owe some rears. But did that bother? No, it didn't go nowhere, because people say he told us already. So when people try to do certain things, if it's already out there, you ain't got to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. You got to be upfront as a candidate. You got to be open and honest from day one. You cannot wait and say, oh yeah, I got this, and oh yeah, by the way, I got that, and oh yeah, by the way, I got this. Because every candidate stuff is coming out on right now. But at the same time, we must be ready to do what it takes to get rid of Evers. That's all I'm saying. Wow. Then I don't know. That's going to be something that we have to look at, because if that happens, then you guys got to remember, CRT is going to stay in our schools. Transgender is going to stay in the schools. Now they're giving them, in order to get the lunch money, the kids got to go in the same bathrooms, and they got to shower in the bathrooms. Red flag laws is coming through the pipe. So you guys got to look at what's all at stake here, because all of this is at stake. Red flag laws coming down the pipe. Kids going in the same bathroom. Litter boxes in the schools. Education steady being dumbed down. Crime steady rising. Economy steady shrinking and steady being messed up. Now we're going to have a shortage in food. You guys got to look at everything that is going to come behind Evers staying in office. And those of us who love our guns, all your neighbor got to say is they don't trust you. Red flag law, you might lose your guns. So you got to look at everything. You got to look at everything that's going to come down that pipe. You got to look at being your 5-year-old being injected in stuff in them that you didn't want in them. You got to look at this where parents is now being told by the courts and the states on how to raise your kids. All of this stuff you guys got to look at. You got to look at what's really at stake. And listen, if Evers become a 2-term governor, you ain't got no right to protest. You ain't got no right to rally. You ain't got no right because this is what you chose. So we have to look at this thing for what it really is. And we got to look at what's at stake. That's why I tell people all the time, move our emotion out of the way. Let's sit down. Let's look at what's at stake and let's do what's best. And I understand that. Again, I'm just saying, you put it out here. I'm just making my opinion on everything. This is America. We all have a choice, but we all got to understand what's at stake. If I ask y'all to go rob a bank with me, and all I need you to do is drive the getaway car, and you choose to drive it when they sentence us, don't cry, because you had a choice. So I'm not asking nobody to vote for anybody. I'm just saying, as your next lieutenant governor, what I'm going to do, but I'm also saying, look at what's at stake. We have to look at what's at stake. We have to look at the cost. What is it going to cost us? That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about, Kathy. I don't care who gets in office. We don't go to Disney World if the conservative win and Evers out. We don't go to Disney World. We hold everybody accountable. We make sure everybody do exactly what I want, what we want them to do for us. We do not give them a pass because they are in there. We gotta hold everybody accountable. And all I can say, if people got problems with the party, I'm gonna tell y'all what my spiritual father told me one time. And here it is. If you come up with the problem, then I charge you to the solution. If you come up with the problem, then I'm charging you to the solution. That means all of you guys are going to join the Republican Party when it's time to vote out the leadership that's over the county, and then vote somebody in that is that's going to be there to do whatever is right. Let's see. Is there a way? any way to ban CRT statewide. Our local schools is holding transgender lunch meeting on Friday. How how about if they do this funds are withheld? Well, Michelle, the only way that's going to happen if we pull that DPI race out of the spring, put it in the fall, so we can get strong conservatives to run for that seat. And once we get it, then what we can do is get rid of Common Core, CRT, SEL once and for all. Or if we got a conservative governor, he can go to the Department of Education and says, we don't want your funding anymore. We're going to do it from within the state. And then once we control it from the state, we can definitely get rid of it. But we got to have the right people in office so we can do that. So this is why it is so important that we make Evers a one-term governor. Because if we do not make him a one-term governor, then you might as well get ready for transgender week, month, year, everything else, transgender after-school clubs, everything. So we don't know what they're going to do. But the thing about it is, if we don't stop it now, it's going to be too late. Everybody cannot afford to homeschool their kids. Everybody cannot afford. If we don't get universal school choice, everybody can afford to send their kid to another school. So then those Republican parents who kids is in the public school who can't afford to homeschool, who cannot afford to move them out of another school, their kids just suffer. Same as the Democrat kids. So the kids is at stake. Our children is at stake. While we have these little bitty spats and fights, we're not thinking about our children. We're not looking at the issues. We're not thinking about the economy. We're not thinking about, because we too busy focus, and that's how the enemy want us. He want us all focusing. The Bible says when Nehemiah went to build the wall, they all had one mind. They all had a mind to work. They all worked from wherever they was, and they built the walls. Right now, we cannot build the walls because we're not all on the same page. And until we decide to swallow our pride, until we decide to move our haughtiness and our selfishness out of the way and come together, then this is what we're looking at. Transgender lunches. This is what we're looking at. So if we don't do what we're supposed to do in August and in November, then this is what our kids is going to be facing all over the state. Okay, let me say this. Let me say this. Now, we know Rebecca is friends with Robin Voss and all of that, right? But what evidence, and I want y'all to put it up here now because we having this conversation. Two things I want to say, because let's just put it out there. Since y'all bringing it on here, I'm going to bring it out. So let's bring it out. We have people in the state of Wisconsin that have two houses. We have people that live in Wisconsin half the time and live in Florida half the time, or live in Wisconsin half the time and live in Arizona half the time. We have people that does that. Put evidence on here what makes Michaels an establishment candidate. I want to see evidence, because I only come to y'all with truth. I never give y'all hearsay or nothing. When I talk about a candidate, I present evidence. I present truth. I don't go he say, she say. I don't put hearsay. So somebody put me on here some evidence that Michaels is an establishment candidate. Because here's the thing. The same people that support Rantham wanted Trump's endorsement for Rantham, and now that Michael's got it, now he has to be establishment. And I'm not defending Michaels. I just want us to put evidence on here. So somebody put me evidence on this live that Michaels is an establishment. I know people wanted Rebecca to get the endorsement at the convention. So I will give y'all that one, that she is their pick. I'll give you that. But show me evidence that Michael is an establishment candidate. I need evidence, because here's the thing about it. We only can go by truth. I'm a man of truth. We only gonna go by truth. Show me evidence, and I agree with you on everything that y'all saying, but I need to see evidence. That's all I'm saying. Because him living here and not living here, we got a lot of people like that in our state. I got friends that live here in the summer and they go to Arizona in the winter. I got friends that live here who used to be the mayor of Superior and they're in Florida in the winter. So show me something besides that, because it's common for Wisconsin where you have 2 locations. So show me that he's establishment candidate. That's what I want to see, because we're saying it all the time. That's establishment. Show me proof. That's all I'm asking right now. Let me see what Ed said. Fighting to keep the issue alive. Evil does come from both sides, and we know that good can come from both sides. You know, it all depends on who have God on the inside of their heart. It has to be. It has to be. It has to be genuine from a person. Okay, now let me, Brock. Let me share something with you, Brock. That people were saying, and a lot of them changed their mind later. But let me tell you what people were saying. A lot of people were saying this earlier. Was that a setup when Robin Voss attacked Tim Rampton so Tim Rampton can run for governor? A lot of people were saying that in the beginning because nobody really knew who Tim Rampton was. But once they started to hear and talk to him and stuff like that, then they realized Tim Rampton is a man of God. Tim Rampton is a nice person. Tim Rampton. But a lot of people thought he was part of the establishment, thought it was a setup, so that way it would take votes from the Patriot group to go into the Republican when they thought they was trying to split it. So a lot of things people have said about all of us. But until you put it in, until you have a conversation with somebody. So I'm gonna stroll down. I'm still waiting on people to put proof on here that Tim Michael is establishment candidate. So I'm still waiting on that as we keep strolling down. Okay. It's not argument tonight. It's going good for me. So don't leave, Kelly. Okay, I'm still waiting on proof. So I'm gonna keep strolling down until somebody puts some proof up here. Oh, I know who it is. That's Brock. Cat, that's Brock. No, it's not arguing. This is good. This is good. I can handle this. This is good. But I want us to think, and this is hopefully this is making people think. I hope it is making people to go back and sit down and says and revisit and say who can beat Evers. We need to know that. Okay, Brock, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on the documentation, the proof that Michaels is establishment candidate. Because everybody's saying this. Can y'all please bring proof? Because that's what we want to do. We need proof. That's a good point, Ed. Evers is not an option, but let's keep it real. If we don't do what we're supposed to do, if we don't sit down and count the costs and figure out who is the strongest to beat Evers, he will be the option. He will win. And we have to look at that and make sure. Okay. See, when people tell me God says, then I need you to back those up with scriptures. If you telling me God said, God always back his word up with his word. But the thing about it is, again, three, all three candidates, I like them all. Oh, wait a minute, there's four, Adam Fisher. But all the candidates I like. I have, I like them all. I respect them all. I can submit to all. I can work with all. No matter what. But my assignment is going to be for we the people. My assignment is to make sure the people are taken care of. My assignment is to make sure that not only Evers is not just a one-term governor, but my assignment is also making sure the people of Wisconsin is taken care of, from our children to our elderly to our veterans. That's my assignment, to make sure everybody is dealt with, everybody has what they supposed to have. The Bible teaches me as leaders, we're supposed to make sure everybody has common, everybody has what they need, and everybody don't need the same amount. Some people don't need that much. Some people need a lot. Some people need more knowledge. Some people need more information. Some people need an opportunity. Some people need to stop being oppressed. Some people need to be assisted because of the injustice. So there's so much that needs to be done, but we ain't gonna get it done if we do not stand up now. And so, I mean, we understand, Brock, that you really, really like Evers. I mean, not Evers, but Tim Ramthun. And we're not knocking you for liking Tim Ramthun, but to take the basketball and go home because he didn't come out. And I'm still waiting. I'm strolling down. I'm waiting on the proof, because you called Michaels an establishment candidate. So I'm waiting on the proof. While we still on here, you guys, bring the proof so we can expose Michael for being an establishment candidate. So while we continue to stroll and talk, please come on down. Whoa. Whoa. Really, Ed? You're gonna say you're going on a war path? Wait a minute. Okay. Kat, I'm not arguing. I'm just expressing and sharing and everything. Uh, this is not an argument. This is people just expressing how they feel. And I'm okay with this. Okay, Brock, hold it now. Now you need to define this one right now, sir. Because don't nobody control, is no one controlling me. Nobody, no establishment, no person, no individual. The only person control me is God. So you need to explain that one. Because nobody, anybody that know Dr. David King, no, ain't nobody controlling me. Nobody. So, but I will say this: when you say something, you should be able to back it up and explain what you mean. Because ain't nobody controlling me. Nobody controls Dr. David D. King. So what do you mean by that one? Because of the simple fact I'm not agreeing. I'm for we the people. I have always been for we the people. My message have never changed. Me standing up for we the people. Now, whatever you trying to say, are you trying to say we the clique? Because we the people? My message never changed. And then y'all throw God in this thing, but y'all really don't know God. Because if y'all really know God, some of these attitudes and the things that y'all be saying, you know you can't say it if you belong to God. So you need to explain this one. Who's controlling me? That one you need to explain. Okay, where did I go? Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Oh, y'all talking about values. Well, sound like y'all got a problem in Porch County. It look like y'all got an in-house fight that y'all need to fix. Kathy, I need to come shake your hand. You're absolutely right. And we got to rock the boat. We have to really rock the boat. We have to really stand up for what we believe in. We have to make sure that, I tell y'all all the time, I'm a lion, not a sheep. I'm a salmon. I swim upstream, not downstream. I said I was born to raise hell, Raze. That means to level to the ground. So I'm not one of those that goes along to get along, and I don't play fair. And when it comes to war, we're in a war, we're in a battle, and the thing about it is, we don't understand what we're doing. So guess what we got to do? We got to get up and do something about it. Voting for the lesser two evils is not part of the game. Voting for the lesser of the two evils is because we do not get strong Christian candidates out here to stand up and speak what thus says the Lord, only what God says, and be a light to the people. You got to be a light to the people. You got to be a light. You got to be salt. You got to be yeast. You got to be able to get out here and love on people, resonate. That's why Russ said what he said earlier, because Russ, I don't just talk God. When Russ them need help, I'm there. Anybody else need help, I'm there. That's part of who I am. That's who God called us to be. So we don't have to vote for the lesser two evils. We just got to get enough of people that really love God and really stand for God and only stand on the word of God, not being religious and say, I know God. A lot of people know of God, but a lot of people don't know God. A lot of people on here know of Rosie as my wife, but y'all don't know Rosie because I'm the only one been intimate with Rosie. So I'm the only one on here that really know Rosie. Y'all know of her. So we got a lot of people know of God, but really don't know God. So we always use God's name as a passport. But your light should be able to shine that people know that you know God. Eh. I tell you, it's going to be really, really hard and difficult. Really hard, really, really hard, really whatever, and to try to bring everybody back together, because I don't think we all been in this for the same reason, to make Evers a one-term governor. I think some of us, we just got in for our own personal gain. And this is why we got so much division and confusion going on, that and smearing. Now, when you're telling the truth, that's not smearing. But when you smearing and you don't have no evidence, because you guys, I'm still waiting on proof that Michaels is establishment. Now, again, I know all the candidates. I had breakfast with Ramtham. I talked to his wife. I know them all. I called Adam Fisher. I met Michaels. I met Rebecca. Been on the same stage with her speaking at tea parties. So it's not like I don't know the people, but they also know who I am. Yes. The most favorite. Well, Brock, let me ask this question. There's nothing wrong with people calling them the dream team and all of that. If they're the most favorite and you are so sure that they're going to win, why do you have to make a statement that you're going to vote independent? If you really feel that they're going to win, Why do you have to say, if they don't win, I'm going independent? If you're so sure that the dream team gonna win. And again, everybody has their own. This is America. You have your right to say whatever you want. Really, Ed, you ain't got no sense. When you keep saying the word your, are you just talking about general or are you talking about me, Brock? That's what I'm trying to find out. I need you to clarify that for me. Ain't nobody said our Clayfish or our Michaels. All I said was you keep calling him the establishment. I asked you for proof. Show me proof. That's all I'm asking. I ain't defending nobody here. I'm asking. You came on here. This was supposed to have been a question and answering time for me to the people. You came on here, started ranting and raging about all this stuff. So since you brought it in, I'm just telling you to bring me proof. Show me proof. That's all I'm asking. Nobody controls me. Nobody. Man, it ain't gonna get like that. It ain't gonna get like that. Ain't nobody gonna give up their gun. It ain't happening like that. It is not gonna happen like that. It's not going to happen the way you're saying it. It's not going to get like that. If you allow Evers 4 more years, then yeah, it's going to get like that. But it's not going to get like that because this is why it's so important we sit down and look at everything, find out who has a vision for the state of Wisconsin, find out who's ready to do what needs to be done to make sure the economy is stable, to make sure we don't have a food shortage, to make sure that we can protect our families and everything, to make sure the government doesn't overreach, to make sure they're ready to pull out the 10th Amendment and break away from the federal government. These are the things this is why we need people in office that can stand up and boldly do these things and instead of sitting around twiddling our thumbs, waiting on disasters. We're preventing disasters from happening. But if we allow Evers 4 more years, then yes, all of this will happen if we give him 4 more years. Wow. So are you saying that if we don't vote for Rantham and Jonathan, then we are slave to establishment? I'm trying to understand what you're saying. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. Oh, Russ, we got ammo. Those of us who love our guns got ammo. Cat Rustin is a good man. Don't misinterpret what Rustin is saying. Rustin is a good man. He's a very good man. So don't misinterpret him. He Something happened to his election when he was running for office. He's actually a victim to what took place. So don't take what he's saying, because he's not saying nothing negative when it comes to us. Rustin is a good man. He's on my side. Um, Something happened to him and he's upset about it. So no, Rustin is good. I can vouch for him on that one. Okay, so Scott, I am too. I am too. Yes, ma'am. It's definitely gonna come here if we do not get rid of Evers. It's gonna come because he's coming with vengeance. He's gonna come after with vengeance. We know it. Everybody know it. Everybody understand what's at stake. If he get 4 more years, he's coming with vengeance. He's coming to get some stuff done right away. He's coming to get some stuff right away. so so we have to just be focused on some things, and we got to realize, what's really at stake. We got to realize what's really at stake. And if it happens here, we can't blame nobody but ourselves. Yeah, yeah, a long way. Taking the basketball and going home. That's a direct insult to who I am and my intelligence. No, what we're saying to you, Ed, you want to address this one? Because what we're saying is it'll be like taking your basketball and going home. If we taking your basketball and going home means we didn't get our way. So since we didn't get our way, we're not just gonna vote. We're not just gonna that's taking the basketball and going home. It's like we didn't win, so I'm taking my ball. Guess what? Now y'all ain't gonna be able to play because I took the basketball and I went home. That's what taking the basketball and going home really means. Thanks for the threat, Ed. You can start with me. Too much to explain. We will be doing podcasts very soon. A stringing of them. Okay. The thing about it is this. The thing about it is this. To be honest, let's see, not a threat, but a promise. You know, we have to really, you guys, we really have to um look at this for what it really is. You know, this is not a game, you guys. This is something. Whoa, y'all turned this into from a meet and greet into a all out war on on what we're supposed to be doing, and I understand. um I understand that this is serious, you guys, and to have us to be going through things the way we going through them is not what we ought to be doing. So let's see. I will be honored to accept the Portage County Sheriff nomination. Go ahead and take it over, Scott. So, wow, you guys, we got to come together. So, okay, with all of that other stuff that's going on, I ask people, please put, let me see, I support Michaels after Nichols dropped out. I will help him after I accept the Republican nomination in Portage. See, this was supposed to be people around the state asking me questions, knowing where I'm at, knowing where I stand on things. And then we got people that jump on and wanted to bring in other issues and other things. And I'm okay with that. But what you have to understand is, and what you are doing is, like Ed says, y'all showing true colors. So when you start to show true colors and you guys are saying and doing things, you know, I just hope that now, you know, I'm trying to catch up. You talk about accountability. If you or anyone else cost this election, they should be accountable. And I'll be on the warpath to make sure that happens. Okay, wait a minute. Where am I? Wait a minute. Is it that many comments? Hold on. I lost my spot, so I gotta find it. Okay, there it is. I'm not establishment. Google me. I support Russ. Okay. He knocked. He got knocked off the ballot by. Oh, I support King more than okay. Let's see. So, Barack, are you saying you a slave? Okay, let me try to hurry up through these. We all need something. Are we gonna sing Kumbaya at the end of this? First of all, what kings what kings what kings are we siding with? This is not the British. I mean, Russ, what is bags? I know. Where is the constitutional queen tonight? I don't know if we're going to unify. That's the problem I'm seeing right now. Scott, I want to unify too. We got to. Okay, let me say this. Let me do this because what I'm about to do is um, what I'm about to do is no, Ed. I don't know what bags is. Y'all gonna have to explain that to me. What is bags? No, what is bags? I don't know what bags is. So did I lose your vote because I don't know what bags is? Oh, wow. Really? Okay. So let me say this. First of all, to those of you that got on here, uh, first of all, let me say this. This here was about this here was about a meet and greet that I was supposed to ask questions, answer questions that you guys might have had for me, but it turned into something else. And this is why it is so important that we have to sit down and count the costs, sit down and make sense of what we're about to do. It is so much that is going on, and that we need the wisdom of God to get us out of the mess that we are in. And we need leaders that hear from God. We need leaders that will obey God, not trying to beat anybody with the Bible or anything, but leadership that trusts God, that will put God back where he belongs. I want you guys to understand tonight. It shows you the kind of mess that our side is in, with the division, with the disagreements, with the isolations, with the separations, with the confusion. And we use God in everything, but God is not an author of confusion. God did say in 2 Chronicles 7:14, if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways. Why did God say his people have wicked ways? Because we do. So he says, turn from their wicked ways. He said, then will I hear from heaven. I forgive them of their sin and heal the land. The problem that we have is haughtiness, selfishness, egos. And this is and we have pride. And the Bible always says pride always comes before the fall. So we have to look at this thing for what it really is. We got so much at stake. We got so much going on. We have so many people, lives is waiting on how the government turns out. And we have to get to that place where we're prepared and ready. If it's a if it's a if it's a shortage, and the Bible calls them a famine, if there's going to be a famine in the land, if the economic system is not moving, if there's going to be another so-called push and in a pandemic, we need leadership that is bold enough to stand up for this. But I'm okay with everything that went on tonight. It showed me some things. And I hope it showed you some things. I hope it showed you that we need to rethink some things. I hope it showed you that we cannot just go along to get along. I hope it showed you that we cannot afford to put a weak team together to go against evils. It also should have showed you that our message got to be so right that we can get moderate Democrats and independents and to come over to the side and vote, because we already have people threatening to not vote after the primary if their people is not in office. We already been told that people are going to go and vote independent. So we have to have a message that will bring back votes, that will remove Tony Evers. We have to be realistic on this election. And in this election, we got to be so realistic that we got to be, we just got to look at for what it is and knowing if a person is going to win or not. Everybody done it. Everybody done it. They done it in basketball. They done it in football. They done it in baseball. The Olympics done it in boxing. They didn't just let everybody who said they was a boxer go over and represent the United States. They put the best up to represent. And that's what we need to do. Put the best people up to represent Wisconsin on August 9th. The best person that is going to be able to stand when the heat comes, stand and make the tough decisions to make Wisconsin a better place. To make Wisconsin a place where nobody's ready to leave but is ready to return. That will not happen with just good people. That is only going to happen with true leadership, who's ready to make the tough decisions, who's ready to empower the people of Wisconsin, who's ready to protect our children, our grandchildren, great-grandchildren, who's ready to make the tough decision when it comes to the economy, who's ready to make a decision that might not make a lot of people happy, but they're going to love the results of those decisions. We got to get to a place where we move aside everything. If you don't want establishment candidates, then you got to vote those that are not establishments in. But then at the same time, you got to ask yourself, what are you voting in? Now, we got a lot of people that using the Constitution and then they say God. But if you understood the Constitution, it is the word of God. There are so many scriptures inside the Constitution. But if you got people who's talking about the Constitution but don't study the Bible, they misread the Constitution. They don't understand the Constitution because they don't understand the word of God. So they can never understand what the founding fathers was really saying if they never understood the word of God. Okay, we got a storm coming, so I'm closing out. But we have to get to a place where we are choosing right people for the office. And we also got to get to a place where we're doing our due diligence and we're doing our homework and we're doing our researches to put the best people up. America never sent nice people to the Olympics. They send people that they know going to come back with the gold. They put boxers, not just any boxers, but the best boxers. They put the best soccer players. They put the best basketball players. They put the best track and field. They put the best hockey player. They put the best of the best in there. August 9th, we have to put the best of the best. All this other mess, it's not even important. But what we do know is that we has to look at everything that's at stake. And we got to be ready. And we got to be willing to do whatever it takes to make it to. And we got to make sure that everything we do is to the glory of God. So people who talking about the Constitution, read it, read the Word of God, and you will see exactly what it means. The Bible says this: if you are ashamed of me before man, then I will be ashamed of you before my Father. But it also says, because I left something out, if you're ashamed of me and my word, then I'll be ashamed of you. If we're not standing on the word of God, then we got to stop using God's name. Because the word of God is not about hatred. The word of God is not about manipulation and deception. The word of God is not about confusion. The word of God is not about division. The Bible says, how can two walk except they have already agreed? How can two walk together except they have already agreed? And we're supposed to be walking together because we all agree that Tony Evers needs to be a one-term governor. That's it. For the sake of the people of Wisconsin. So we have to come together and we have to unite. And those, I state for the record, those that's going to vote independent, if your person doesn't win, this is America, that's your choice. But I would not allow you to call me a slave or anybody else a slave when we are in the freest country. Unless you're putting yourself in that category, because you got a birth certificate and you have a social security card. So voting for independent in the race, you're still part of the slavery. If you got a social security card and you birth certificate and that's what you're using, then you're part of the slavery. But I'm a free man and I have the right to choose just like you do. I have the right to stand up for what I believe just like you do. And I'm not knocking you for what you stand for. Every man's supposed to stand for what they stand for. Because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. But I know what I bring to the table as lieutenant governor. I know what I bring to the table to support whoever comes out of that governor's race so we can get rid of Tony Evers. I know that if the governor's doing what they're supposed to do for we the people, we're going to have a beautiful 4 years. But if we don't, those 4 years is not going to be as nice. Because I'm going to hold everybody accountable, from the governor to the legislators. I've been saying it from day one. That's why on my literature, it says the agitator. I'm not backing down from anybody. I'm in this to represent the people, and I'm asking the people of Wisconsin to trust me as I stand up to represent you. I'm not there to be liked. And if you don't like me, that's your business. And I will not bother your business. I will not get in your business because I'm not going to be liked. I'm going to get a job done. I did it for 30 years. I went to get jobs done. I didn't go in there to be liked. Now, if you want somebody that's going to get a job done, then I'm your candidate. If I'm not your candidate and you want somebody else, I'm okay with that as well. I'm okay with that as well. This was supposed to be for people who's looking for candidates that is real. That's what this was all about today. That's what tonight was all about. It was not about people to get on here and say what they feel about other candidates or how they're going to not vote if their candidate didn't come out. But you did it. We know where you stand. We see your true colors. We still love you. We see your true colors. We know what you're about. But I had already seen it and I had shared it with my wife because I see things, I just don't say things. Because one thing God gave me is the spirit of discernment. And I discern a lot of things. And I'm okay. This is America. Everybody has a right to do whatever they want. But if you want somebody that's walking in character and integrity and in honesty, then I'm your man. If you want somebody else, by all means, vote for them. But just remember what's at stake. Just to remember the cost. My father used to always tell me, whatever decision you make, be willing to lie in that bed because every decision comes consequences. So whatever you decide, just make sure you're able to handle it and you're able to deal with it. All I can say is for me, I travel the state to be genuine to the people, to be real with the people, to let them know that they have a fighter in this race. They have a fighter that understands the Constitution, understands the Word of God, understand what a character is, integrity is, honesty is, and that is unique or beyond everybody else. We are in this mess because of selfishness. That's why we're here. Both parties let us down. Both parties allowed them to chip away at freedom. Both parties didn't care about our children's education. Both parties didn't care about small business owners. Both parties really ain't cared about the farmers. Both parties done this. Both done this. Because outside, we ain't got nothing but sheeps. It's time to put a lion in office. It's time to put somebody in office that is not just going to go along to get along. Time to put somebody in office that don't care what people think. Because at the end of the day, while a dog is still barking, I'm still a lion. I do not change because of people. I don't worry about what people have to say, and I don't lose no sleep. The only time I lose sleep is when I doesn't walk as the person that I am. That I let my wife and my children down because I sold out. But I would never sell out, and I would never sell the people trust. So everything else, everything else is it's on the people. And Kathy, I agree with you. We do need paper ballots. I do. I'm in agreement with that. So, you guys, it's been 3 hours. And I'm okay the way it went. Because I do not bow down. So with that being said, I will stroll down and see what some of the people are saying. If I think it's worth putting up from now on, I will. Let me say this. Everybody has a right to stand for what they believe in. I don't knock nobody for standing for what you believe in. My biggest problem right now is not what people believe in or nothing like that. We have issues in our state that need to be fixed. All this other stuff, I don't focus on. We have issues. We have lives. We have uh we have things going on in this in our state, for small business owners, for people can't get to work, farmers can't get laborers, uh, people are dying off of drugs, people are being shot, people are children are being taken away from them, people are worried about their kids going to school and dealing with mess at school. We got too much stuff to be sitting around looking at other stuff that is not going to get done because it can't get done unless we on the inside. And so and so I don't have time to come off the wall to deal with what you agree with or what I agree with or what do you disagree with, I disagree with. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King had the same goal, different methods, but they had the same goal. My goal is to make Evers a one-term governor, no matter who the people select. That's my goal. And that's who I'm going to be with. I'm going to support whoever beats me. If they beat me in the primary, I'm going to support them. But I'm not going to just allow people to do anything or say anything. Because me, I can't be controlled. Me, no, I can't be. Not at all. It won't happen. As the next lieutenant governor, not me. Can't nobody control me. No establishment. They ain't got enough money to control me. It won't happen with me. So my goal is to get rid of Evers. And that's what I'm going to do. That's my goal. And I'm asking God for the wisdom on how do we get it done. Because we got so much going on. And we got so many people talking about doing different things that it's not going to go on. So these last closing minutes, to me, I'm not putting anything else on the screen because it's not about establishment people. It's not about anything of that nature. It is about who's the hungriest, who's for the people, who's really going to do what they need to do in these next couple of weeks. It's about doing what needs to be done. People of Wisconsin, we got to come together. We got to come together for the sake of our children, for the sake of this state. We have to come together. Nothing else matters right now. You guys got to sit down and really, really ponder this thing, really think this thing through, really make the right decision on the people. And we got to come together. We got to come together on August the 9th. And if we don't, then all kind of questions is going to go across. Do we got moles on our side? Do we have people that was sent in as a distraction to destroy the conservative movement? I mean, it's a lot of things that's going to be asked. But I know one thing. I am your next lieutenant governor. And I will represent you well. And I will protect your children. I will protect parents' rights. I will make sure that we get the education system fixed. I will keep the people connected to the government. I will keep the government connected to small business owners. And I will make sure the government don't overreach. And I will not sell your trust. That I would do. But other than that, all I can say is, y'all see what we up against? If we do not fix this, Evers will have a second term, bottom line. If we don't fix it, if we don't come together. We've been on here 3 hours, and I still haven't got any evidence that Tim Michaels is part of the establishment. So do me a favor. If you do not have evidence, let's not put that on people unless we can back it up. No more. Let's not, if we can't back up anything about a person, let's not put it out there. Every time I put something out there, I bagged it up. I bagged it up with evidence. So people are saying that Michaels is an establishment, bag it up. Show me, bag it up. People said that they thought Rampton was part of the establishment and that what Robin Voss did was just an act and a trick. Bag it up. Put it out there. Show me. If you're going to say things, put it out there. If you can't put it out there, then you shouldn't say them. Because the Bible also said liars and gossipers will be one of the first one in the lake of fire. It also says, do not bear false witness against our brother, our neighbor. Do not bear false witness. So if we're making false accusations, then we're going against the Bible. So we so-called people of God, bring your evidence. Present evidence. Stop saying stuff with no evidence. Sometimes we just say stuff because we like another candidate. Don't do that if it ain't true. Because when you put stuff out there, you make people dislike people for no reason. We got to stop. We got to unite by August 10th. We have to unite by August 10th. And we can't unite. And most of this, we did this in high school. You was hanging with somebody and they didn't like somebody and you didn't like them and you didn't even know why you didn't like them. All because somebody else. But you had no evidence why you should not like this person. So you trying to tell me everybody that ever had a government contract is establishment? So did Trump ever have, in any of his businesses, ever have any government contracts? I mean, anybody ever worked for the state that's ran for office? Is their establishment? He's in construction. Of course he got government contracts. I got friends that got government contracts that can't stand the government, but that's their business. That's his business. His business does things and they get government contracts, but he can't stand politics. He can't even stand the government. But he got those contracts. You have to bring evidence that he is an establishment person, that the Republican Party put him in office. So just come with it and then let's see what's going on. So these are the things, you guys, we have to really do homework, because if we don't have truth in anything that we're putting out there, then we are just we have to matter of fact, not only Stacy, but one of my one of my supporters work for the government. I'm not part of establishment. A couple of people work for the state, supports me. I'm not part of the establishment. Never have and never will be. We just got to stop until we got true evidence that a person, if we don't got evidence on them, then we cannot say certain things. Cat, all I can say is he gave jobs to people. I'm not here to defend Michaels. Those are questions that Michaels needs to answer. All I'm saying is, look how many families being fed because of his company and they have a job. I'm just saying, you know, we have to look at everything for what it is. Everybody has to make that own decision. Everybody got to look at everything and sit at your kitchen table or your living room table or dining room table and make a decision on who you support and why you support. I mean, that's everybody. That's everybody. I'm not defending anybody. I'm just saying if you're gonna bring something to me, bring it with the evidence. That's all I'm saying. Because if you can't, if it's yeah, I know Michelle, he missed that debate. I know he did. I don't know why he missed the debate. I missed one in Walworth County. And the reason I missed the debate in Walworth County is because I was up in Sparta and La Crosse. Sometime the schedule. I'm not taking up for nobody again. Everybody needs to answer for themselves so the people can make the right decision. That's all I'm saying. People got to be willing to make the right decision on who they want in office. And if you gotta, if you, if, and all I'm saying is people need to put everything on the table and make a decision for yourself, not because somebody else say it. You should be able. Look how many people voted for Biden only because people said they didn't like Trump. And look what we ended up with. Look what we got because people voted for Biden because somebody made them not like Trump. They never took time out to do the homework and realize the policies that Trump put out here that helped a lot of the blacks in America. They never paid attention to it. Why? Because they was trained by media and other people talking, and they voted for Biden because they didn't like Trump. Those same people that voted for Biden says, man, I wish Trump was still in office. So those same people, they voted off of their emotions. Let's see. He didn't show a few weeks ago before Nicholson dropped out. Maybe another commitment. I hear so many things about his government contracts and don't know what to believe. Did he really want to raise the tax? Don't know. I can't answer that one. I'll look into it, but I can't answer that one. I wish Chris Lawrence was on here because he could answer that. He know him better than I do. I can't answer that question, but I do know there's a debate coming up with all the governor candidates, and I know he's going to be there. Uh, and everything. So I all I can say is this, you know, every last one of us, every last one of us has to do our due diligence. Every last one of us. And so I hope he well, we already know you got proof to back it up. I hope that he does come in and sit down and share his vision and answer the tough questions that needs to be answered. Because if he wants that office, he needs to answer those kind of questions. If he wants to be governor, he should be able to answer those questions and everything. And so there's a lot of candidates that didn't make it for debates that was going across the state. Well, there was one debate. A couple of candidates didn't show up for the lieutenant governor debate. One had to leave early. And then you had another lieutenant governor debate. I couldn't make it. So because I had two other engagements. And then there was another debate. Only two lieutenant governor's candidates showed up for that debate. Then you had a lieutenant governor forum. All eight of us weren't at that one. Then you had another lieutenant governor forum in Sparta. All eight of us weren't there for that one. So, there's a lot of things and a lot of reasons why. There's a lot of reasons why a lot of people doesn't come to certain things, schedule, conflict, sick, whatever. All we need to know is this. We have to do our due diligence. Matter of fact, maybe you guys that has questions need to locate his count and send your questions and ask him to explain it, or set up a meet and greet that he can meet with you guys and see if he'll meet to sit down and talk. So it's it's a lot. That's why I say we got to do our homework. We got to do our research. They say all these things, it's a lot going on with everything. And we got not that long to go to make sure we get the right person in office that's going to represent the people. We all have our picks. We all like who we like. That's the beauty of being in a country that's free. They're not putting guns to our head and telling us to vote for individuals. You get to make that decision yourself. I did not want this to go this long, but it did. I guess some things needed to be said. I believe so, but let me try to find it for you if you can't find it on Wisconsin I have do you have my information, Kathy? Because if you don't, I can give you my information and then you can contact me and I'll find it out for you and get you that information of where you can get that. And then I can get that to you. So, so let me know if you don't have my information. I can put my number on the on here so you can have it, because my number is available to everyone. So, but everybody needs to be informed. Everybody needs to be informed. And so let me just do it this way, Kat. I'll put it up here for you now. There's my phone number. Michelle, I see you on the 31st. I'm looking forward to it. Michelle, what town in Polk County are we going to be in? Now, will this also be, is the church in the same city in St. Croix Falls? Is that where the church is too? Because people that's close to that area, we want to invite them to the church service too. Oh, it's in Luck. So we also want to invite people to the rally, but also invite people to the church service as well. I'm looking forward to coming up and preaching for your pastor um, up in Polk County on the 31st. So I'm looking forward to it. On June 13th, I will be in July 13th, I will be in Kenosha. You'll be in Luck. Now, is that the actual town called Luck? On the 13th, we are in Kenosha. Um, oh wow! So y'all, we'll be having service in Luck, Wisconsin. I am looking forward to that. So, but yeah, we'll be there on that day, July 31st. We will be up there ministering. We'll be at the Racine County Fair. We have our own booth. We're not in the booth of the Republican Party. We have our own booth at the Racine County Fair. So come on out to the county fair, join us. Um, you'll be able to meet me and those that are part of the team at the Racine County Fair. So we're looking forward to that. I will be at other county fairs coming up. I know Jennifer probably got a list of them for me to go to. Where else am I? Faith Fellowship Church. Also the Polk County Fair, Big Rock Creek for the Faith Freedom Family Rally. Yes. That's exactly all July 31st right there. That's where we'll be. Come to church and then come to the rally. Be blessed both times. And yes, I will be in Jefferson County Fair. I'm coming to Jefferson County Fair. Because if I don't, you might beat me up. So I'll be there. Let me just run the schedule real quick and then I'm going for the night. Okay. Let's see. On July 12th, I will be at Sauk County in Reedsburg. Then I'm going to stop by I'm going to be in Sauk County in Reedsburg on the 12th. Then I'm going to stop by the Sauk County fair booth, and then I'm going to a candidate forum in Portage, the city of Portage, all in the same day on the 12th. On the 13th, I will be at Birchwood Grill, 7515 125th Street in Kenosha. On the 16th, I will be in Hartford for Pints and Politics with Washington County. And that's on the 14th. On the 15th, I will be up north somewhere, but I'm gonna stop by. No, that's the 16th. Then the 16th, I'll be at the Dane County picnic, and then I will be at a candidate forum in at the Red Mouse in Dane County. On the 18th, I'll be at the Lieutenant Governor meet and greet hosted by the Kenosha County Republican Party. Then on the 21st, there is a Lieutenant Governor televised debate that will be in Milwaukee at the UWM. And then I'll be in Vernon County for the Sheriff Barbecue that evening. Then on the 25th, I will be in Nacita with Dr. Duke Pesto doing an educational event on CRT with Dr. Duke Pesto. And then on the 27th, I will be in Allegheny County, Republican Party. For Pints and Politics. And then there's a multiple events going on, and I'll be over in. So there's a lot, and we'll keep putting it out there over and over again. But we will keep you up with everything that we've got going on and everything that we are doing. So I want to thank everybody for being on. Wasn't planning on being on this long, but I guess some things had to be addressed. Some things had to be touched. Kevin Noble said he will be accepting the Republican nomination after August 9th or on August 9th. So you guys, thank you for coming out. Thank you for listening. I will have another one coming up, and I will make sure I block everything that is not pertaining to myself and the race. But this is Dr. David D. Key, your next Lieutenant Governor. I say God bless you, and may God keep you.